What's going on, everybody? Hey, thanks for waiting. Thanks for being here. We're officially live. And we got 16 of you. What's going on? Benny Bills, Crypto CPT, Identity Block, Pablo Laba, Hex Kai, Crypto Journeyman. Man, what the heck is up, guys? Good to see all of you. Hey, if my voice is okay, make sure you let me know in the comments or in the live chat. Got a new mic right here. Decided I'd finally upgrade my life a little bit. You know, a little bit of Hex gains magic. Marco the Glass Hexagon, how you doing? Kay Cohen, what's up? Max Bonnet says hi. Papa Lava says yes. Cool. So everybody can hear me. Everybody can see me. What more could you ask for, guys? Holy shit. What's going on in the land of crypto today? I got a special guest coming on in a minute. You might be running a little bit late. His name is Gerawrdog. So yeah, he'll be coming in to chat with me in a little bit. And right now I'm just kind of procrastinating. Stylus, yo, what's up? Papa Lava, good. Hex Kyle sounds great. What's up, Hex Phoenix, Hex Squadron, Benny Bills, crisp and clean. All right, that's what I like to hear. Okay. Hell yeah, guys. I know it's been a while. I've been real busy, but I'm really excited for the near future because I'm about to have a lot more free time on my hands to talk to all you wonderful people of Hex. Man, a lot of crazy madness going on, huh? How about that price chart, guys? How about that price chart? The main point of contention in my mind is what the hell is going on with the price right now. I have no idea what's going to happen. And we always use the Bitcoin price as kind of our ultimate predictor of, what is going to happen in the market. And I think we're starting to place too much importance on that. As Kyle Davies from Three Arrows Capital, he mentioned something called kind of the great decoupling, right? So we could start to see, the whole cycle theory just kind of fall flat on its head. Lengthening cycles, 4-year theory. 4-year cycles are kind of invalidated because every cycle is getting longer. And now we're starting to see, well, now that Bitcoin really isn't the end all be all. And to me, it's pretty clear that things like Hex, Ethereum, PulseChain on top, Hex on top of PulseChain, these are going to be the future of cryptocurrency. And it's an uncomfortable fact for a lot of people. It's a hard pill for BTC maxis to swallow. But what that also means to me is that we might start decoupling and not having to rely on these Bitcoin uptrends and downtrends so much. And it's crazy to me because everyone thinks that Bitcoin can't go below 20K. But as Richard's predicting, a 10K Bitcoin, that would be an 80% drop from its immediate peak, similar to 2017 and 2013. And if you look at the 2013 bubble and the 2017 bubble, I guess the main question in my head is, what is this bubble going to be more like, right? Is it going to be a double bubble 2013 repeat fractal? Or is it going to be a 2017 fractal repeat? That's really the main question right now of what Bitcoin's going to do. But regardless of what Bitcoin does, regardless of anything going on in the old boomer Bitcoin, no offense to anybody out there, but I think no matter what Bitcoin does, we're seeing Hex already start to decorrelate and already start to outperform in what could be, whether or not it's a multi-month or a multi-year bear market for Bitcoin. What I'm saying is I think the importance of Bitcoin on the rest of the market might start to disappear. And I think the Ethereum flippening is going to be the very first sign of that. And that's going to blow some minds. Okay. That's going to turn a lot of heads of people who love to, worship BTC. It's kind of like worshiping a VCR or just being addicted to AOL, in the modern day and age when we have, texting, Facebook, Twitter, and you're still on AOL and you're the only one over there. In 5 more years, guys, I mean, there's not a whole lot of improvements being made to Bitcoin, and people are going to hate me for talking bad about it. I love Bitcoin, but I'm looking to get rid of mine. I have a little bit left, and I'm looking to get rid of it. Really hoping for that bounce to 50K personally, right? And then maybe I'm done with Bitcoin. Maybe I go full-time Hex because not only has it been more rewarding and life-changing for me to hold Hex for the past 18 months, but think about the fact that it is only 18 months old. I mean, you're not going to get 100x in Bitcoin. It's not going to happen. Bitcoin's not going to go to $5 million. And I really hate to burst anyone's bubble. The types of people even shouting for $300,000 Bitcoin, to me, it seems unrealistic. I would say it's a blessing if we get to 100K BTC this cycle. And that's, again, with the caveat of, is this a double bubble cycle or are we in for a multi-year bear on Bitcoin? But like I keep coming back to, we have to start to decouple or decorrelate let's just say decouple the whole Bitcoin bear market narrative from the Hex narrative and the ETH narrative and all these other things that are actually being built, making good progress, that have real world usage and adoption. And I think Ethereum is going to do very well for the next couple of years, especially when PulseChain can take a little bit of load off of it. Diehard said, am I retiring? I'm going full-time Hex. Let's call it that, Diehard. Let's call it that. Bits FN says, loved your coffee job story in the Pulse chat the other night. Yeah. I was in the Pulse chat the other night, for anyone that remembers. Max Bonnet says, like the hair. How's it going, everybody? Thank you, sir. I love the compliments, so keep them coming. Bibiness, if we steal Motley's house from under him, Motley will gain massive social clout as having gone through a Richard Hart experience. Oh, you know, if we rug pull Motley, yeah, we got to rug pull him, guys. It's the only way. Just kidding. Hello, NSA. Lol. BTC's days are numbered. It's starting to feel that way, sir, isn't it? Hey, look who I have here to help bounce some ideas off me. He's a great technical analyst. If you're not following him already, his name is Gerawrdog. The spelling is ridiculous. I think it's Gerawrdog on Twitter, but on YouTube it's just Gerardog. I'll let him explain himself. Here he is, guys. Without further ado, what's going on, Gerawrdog? How you doing, man?
Hey, Crypto Coffee. What's going on, man?
Good to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, dude. Can you guys see my full screen or just like half of it?
About half. We're getting about a third of you.
Here, let's move over here.
Oh, also the new AirPods, courtesy of Hex.
Right on.
Courtesy of my job, which I'll be leaving soon. Anyway,
right on.
Gerawrdog. What's up, dude?
Talk to me, bro. Not much. Just filmed the video. It's gonna drop at like 5 p.m. So once we're done here, just constant stream of content. But yeah, I do obviously quantitative analysis on Hex. Like you said, my branding is absolutely terrible across the different platforms with the name, super hard to spell. But if you're lucky enough to find my content, then hurrah, good for you.
If you haven't found it by now, guys, come on, get your head in the game. This guy's making basically the Ben Cohen of Hex, but better. If you go to lookintohex.com, you're going to see some really, really tasty, really colorful charts. And if that's your thing, you know, if you like looking at charts, these are some of the best ones in the game. Wales says we both look like we just woke up. Yeah, we woke up out of the rat race. We took the red pill. That's how we woke up. Vifines said, Gerawrdog, did you just drop a new vid? Did you just drop a new vid?
No. So I scheduled it to upload at 5 p.m. But you know what? I just realized the title on my stream is all wrong.
Oh shit!
Because I'm live on YouTube right now. I need to edit this real quick.
All good, man. Take your time.
It's an old title that says Uniswap V3 launches tomorrow.
All right.
That was definitely a while ago. So
I'm pretty sure it's already out. So
if you guys watching haven't noticed by now, none of this is planned at all. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. But what do you want to really lead with? Kind of what do you want the majority of this combo to be? Pulse, Hex.
We got to do Pulse, obviously.
Pulse, definitely.
Got to do Hex. But before anything else, what I was ranting about before you got here was more of a macro level look on things. Like from a bird's eye view, I mean, you seem like a macro guy to a degree. What do you think? I mean, the way I see it, it's either double bubble 2013 fractal or 2017 multi-year bear market. We're fucked for a long time. So I don't want to believe it, but you know, Richard's calling for it. I remember having this feeling last time where I didn't want to believe Richard, and then I was like, oh fuck, he's right. And then it was a little too late. So I wish I had gotten out earlier. Anyway, what's your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, he makes some.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him? Gerawrdog. Shit, guys, hold on. Can anyone hear me? Or am I frozen? Okay. think we lost Gerawrdog for a second. What's going on, Brennan? What's going on, Pavalaba, Cryptomatic? How we doing? What are we talking about in chat here? Whales only, still rat racing. That's cool, man. I am too. I'll have a different, basically going towards a more entrepreneurial endeavor, right? With the whole course and everything. So I want to find a way to expose more people to Hex, my favorite cryptocurrency. It's life-changing. It can change your life. And I want to onboard people, but I also want to have, a little income stream doing that too. So that's kind of my short-term plan going forward. Hex Squadron said Gerardo rug pulled. God damn it, Gerardo. Just kidding. He'll be back. Let me go talk to him and see if he's got any internet issues. See what he's got to say. Gerardo's practicing to do statue work. Check Gerardo's pulse. We can't lose him. Crypto Zendo. Hey guys, ain't life beautiful? It is really beautiful, especially when you're in a product called Hex and PulseChain on top of it, man. The sacrifice phase could not come soon enough. I mean, I'm just dying for it at this point, guys. I'm thinking, anywhere between now and a month, but I know things like to get delayed, and from what it sounds like, they're trying to make the sacrifice phase as wide to a wide variety of people as possible. So from what Richard was saying, he was like, hey, I'm trying to get the Monero guys to be able to join too. So, Richard, when he does something, he wants to do it over the top, and it's probably good enough to launch right now, but I have a feeling that he's just trying to fine tune everything and extract the most amount of potential money into PulseChain. That's just my 2 cents. Hey, he's back. Look at him. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing good. My internet, not so much.
All good.
Yeah, all good. So yeah, sorry about that. What did I miss?
I was just talking about the bubble theory. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
That's right. Yeah, so I was saying before my internet rudely cut me off was that Richard has really good calls, and so any inclination to make a call in the opposite direction just gets smashed in my mind. Like, maybe the 10K call is a little bearish if you think there are different market players now, and so reduced volatility. Maybe people are saying 20K is obviously strong support, but we don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard to tell, but yeah. Like, I remember when a lot of the liquidity of Hex moved from ETH into USDC, I was like kind of bummed, thinking there was going to be a continued bull run for ETH. But now looking back, just like whoever like did that was pretty
right. That
good
was
at
the
calling
perfect move.
The top. It was the perfect move. Yeah, maybe like 1 month off, but still, like, regardless in terms of like years, when you zoom out, it's like a really, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It was something that you emotionally feel in the moment. Like, it's not obviously what's going to happen. So, I mean, we could be seeing maybe like a 1 year, 2 year bear market for the rest of crypto. I don't know.
Well, yeah. And no matter how long it lasts, I think it could go as low as 80%, right? Because I think he pulled the 10K number from the fact that almost every dip is about 80%. And he just took, even in 2013, the 1200 down to whatever it was, that was an 80% dip.
200.
And then, I mean, there was a lot of 80% dips. Matthew Bailey, what's going on? Thank you for the tip, bro. Thanks for all your hard work. Hex community is amazing. It sure is. It's growing all the time. So you just popped up kind of a couple months ago, as far as I'm concerned. But I was looking at your YouTube channel, and you used to do some kind of boxing, or maybe you still do that, some fitness stuff. It's pretty cool.
Fitness stuff for sure. Boxing, funny you mentioned it. I only recently got into that a few months ago, but I used to make fitness content I kind of got a little popular on Instagram for a minute there, and then I started doing the whole like fitness thing, try to go that route. It was fun, but it's like an online persona. I just couldn't, after a certain amount of time, I just really didn't want to do that anymore. And so obviously,
thing about having online persona, it's like you start to wonder, like, am I just like crypto coffee now, or like can I go back to being Matt? Like, when do I switch back and forth? Yeah,
and that's what I realized.
It should be
like,
both, right?
I mean, just look at. I always use Gary Vee as a example that he dominates multiple niches, and in a way, having multiple interests distinguishes you within any particular niche too. So it's like, oh, he's the fitness / crypto guy kind of thing. So it's in both, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who's into fitness is into crypto, not everyone who's into crypto fitness. So it's like, I mean, that's not the direction. I'm not doing the best at branding myself in that direction. I don't really care, but like,
Yeah.
I think you see what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think it's kind of simple. Just do what you're interested in, do what you like.
Exactly.
It's cool that you can branch out to have another audience too, because I'm sure some of your old fitness guys or girls that were following you are now Hexicans, right?
I'd hope so. I'd really hope so. If they haven't noticed the commitment by now, I mean, it might take them another 100x, but well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you've been really consistent too. Every day or two, I see you with a new video out. Every day?
Every day.
Yeah, man. I hope to. I'll get back into the swing of things pretty soon here. I'm day job stuff, but life happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple for me. I don't know, like it depends on the level of production, but I kind of I not got lucky, but set it up in a good, easy, low effort way where it's just like turn the camera on, one take, no editing, boom. Literally takes like 20 minutes to film a 20-minute video. No fancy stuff.
Yeah, and that's fine too. Because it's all about the content at the end of the day. I mean, you've seen Cohen, and like that's zero editing, all content, and people love what he has to say. So, I try to do minimal editing too, but over time, there's a couple of easy things you can do. Just green screen background, get in a mic or whatever. This is my first day with a new mic, so that's been cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
I mean, the green screen would help my channel.
I mean, for you, you're fine. Like, I don't want to tell you how to do your thing, but does. I mean, you tell me, chat. Does a green screen really make a difference, or do you just care about like what they're saying, right?
Right.
I don't know. Everyone's got their own taste. Brendan says Bitcoin maxis will be utterly destroyed in the spirit of Bitcoin returns to 10K. Yeah. So going back to that, Bitcoin 10K would be an 80% dip from the top, and what I could see is it just wicking down really quick, and then maybe coming back up to above 20. But the fact that nobody thinks it can happen is what makes me think, oh shit, maybe this is actually going to happen. Like everyone's bullish. And what I'm doing now personally, just for everyone on the screen, not financial advice, but I do have a Bitcoin and ETH holding that I think I'm going to try to get out on, partially based on Richard's call, just on the next bounce here. If we can get above 3K ETH or maybe above 50K Bitcoin, that would be a blessing to me. And I think I'd be probably out of those positions and moving into Pulse. Not financial advice. What about you?
Yeah, you're thinking about 3K is where you'd get rid of it?
Anything over
ETH?
3K.
I'm talking about ETH,
yeah, like 3.2, 3.3 would be beautiful.
Is it worth it to wait? That's just another 10% bounce. Like, we're already at 2,800.
That's the thing. Is it worth it to wait? Because Hex could just run away any minute now.
Right.
Especially if it breaks out of this 6 cent or whatever previous all-time high. I mean,
think of like what a flat ABC correction would look like on ETH. It would, what was it, 1,800 was recent low?
Yeah.
So downside of, what is that, like 40% risk, upside like 10%. I don't know about that ratio.
Yeah. See, you're kind of making me want to get rid of it right now.
I'm just saying.
No. It makes total sense. It's logical. And if you think that Hex is going to continue to pump into the launch, which to me seems like high probability, why wait? I mean, if you're going to buy Hex at a higher price, you're not going to have as much USD value to sacrifice. And that's what we're saying too about even waiting between. There's this whole component of, do you sacrifice on day one? Or do you think people are going to ape in enough after you that a sacrifice on the day 30, that the dollar value in Hex increasing by day 30 would offset the less amount that you would get from the curve?
Exactly.
I actually think no. I think one thought that I had is that there might be a portion of people, maybe let's say 10% or 20% of people that actually don't even care about Pulse, that are literally just traders. So like let's say they don't even care. They're just trying to run this run up, or ride this run up rather.
True.
And they they're going to treat it as a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So maybe some portion of people will start dumping on the day of the sacrifice phase start. But how many people, I can't tell. And will that even happen? I don't even know.
No, I mean, that's a good point.
Because you know what happened on Big Payday, right? Like it was essentially people started front running the sales before the Big Payday.
True.
So
true. Then again, actually, that's a great point, because the Big Payday dump itself was not even that bad. Was it like 50% the day of?
Yeah.
The day of. So, but it was a supply shock event, which is different because this is a supply sink event.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite fundamentally.
Well, and for anybody new here that doesn't know what he means by a supply sink event is we're all kind of assuming that sacrificing this hex means it's not going to get dumped on the open market. Like, read between the lines, guys. And if you can't do that, I'll do it for you. Like, we're pretty sure this is going to a very strong hand that's not going to sell. And I really hope people realize that. I can't say that for every coin. I can't say that for if you sacrifice Link or whatever, I can't promise that it won't be dumped. But I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that if I sacrifice my hex, it's actually going to take liquid supply out, which will pump both the ETH chain and the Pulse version because it'll be a lower supply, theoretically.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I can't say the same for these other projects. I can't say. I really don't know. I mean, Richard made a comment on what was it, Mitch Reyes, is that his name?
Oh yeah, that was great yesterday.
Where he said that was great. Yeah, he kind of hinted at the idea of just that whoever owns the keys to those sacrifice addresses might just dump everything other than Hex.
I think he did say that, like almost verbatim. Like it sounds pretty obvious to me.
Yeah. Like it can't get much clearer. Like, how much of a hint do you need? Like,
yeah. And so I guess the difference with going back to front running, right? It's like, will people front run this, or would they rather just get the new coins? I think a lot of people would rather get the new coin, the new Pulse token. So rather than trying to sell, they would just exchange the Hex for Pulse token, right? Essentially. So like, if I'm trying to play this and I'm a total, and I don't believe in the power of Hex long term, or I don't believe in the power of Pulse long term, which why wouldn't you? But a lot of people out there, like we've seen it before, they don't understand what they have when they hold Hex. So they're happy with the 2x run up, and they don't understand that this thing could go to $1 and you could be making interest the whole time. So the power is crazy, but how many people are gonna play it like lemmings, like, and if they all try to do the same thing, what would be the most obvious like ape thing to do? Like, I don't know if anyone's going to how many people are going to fully grasp the fact that like sacrificing Hex is great for everything, or if people are just going to think of it as, oh, look, Hex is pumping, I want to get in on Hex. Oh, look, I made a 3x. Oh, I'm selling now.
Just the trader types, though, like you said, are going to try to play this.
Right.
Might change.
I think that's going to be a small fraction, right? It's kind of up to us to spread the word of Pulse so that they don't do that. But there's probably, I mean, if you're a new person and you're like, oh, why did Hex go up so much? You're probably going to look up PulseChain if you're not a total idiot. Like,
right. I mean, and that's another point. Like, people who don't even know about Pulse yet, who figure out or learn about it during the launch phase. And let's say there's like a curve where more people know about it near the end, then maybe aping in day one was not the move. No, actually, no, I don't think that affects it as much. Hold on.
I just think that like let's assume oh, hold on a second. Gerawrdog, I'm muted on your stream.
Oh, no way.
It's all good.
Oh,
though.
Man.
I can just give you the copy of this afterwards.
Oh, buddy.
It's all good.
Yeah. Just give me the copy of this afterwards if you can.
Yeah. But if this goes anything like, the launch phase for EOS or Hex or whatever, you always just get a flood at the beginning and the interest gradually tapers off. So I think it's unlikely that there's going to be more interest by day 30 and more money coming in by day 30. I think it's going to be the same like dam effect, right? The dam breaks, the water floods in, and then by the end, it's kind of a slow trickle. But your scenario could happen. Like if the price of HEX does go higher than the opportunity cost of getting in on day one, that could be the move. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to ape on day one personally. That's what I'm going to do. But if that changes, I'll let you guys know.
I mean, it's designed to reward day one guys, day one people.
Yeah.
The most, right? Like when we were given the data on who HEX was designed to benefit the most, it was obviously not the day one guys. Like people were clearly told that and shown comparisons to the EOS chart with similar launch mechanics. So what I did in the first video I ever made on Pulse on this channel was just comparing the launch mechanics to something similar, which was the Ether launch though. Right? And when Ether launched on market, the cheapest it ever went was a wick to 15 cents. But if you'd gotten in on the ICO, the pre-sale, you would have gotten it, I think, like at 30, 50 cents. So you would have pretty much been up like the whole time. Like it's hard to find a day where you wouldn't have been. And it opened on the first day at like $3, I think. So you had a bunch of guys who were up like 6, 10x, just like dumping it down, wick to 15 cents, and then like it just kept tearing.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's the whole IPO model too. But this is going to be a little different because they're trying to start it with the lowest price possible. We'll see. There might still be a mini dump of people that are trying to get whatever they can for their newfound riches, and then then they're gone, and then we can have the actual believers come on in. Patrick wants to know what's aping. You want to take that one?
Aping, I'm sure Urban Dictionary has a better definition, but it's the act of all-inning your stack, generally speaking, just like on an impulse move. Just like throwing, like, oh my God, like GME just went up, like throw 100K and that kind of mentality, like the degenerate gambling mentality.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that not everyone's like experienced in crypto, but it's like basically, like we sound kind of crazy to new people, but aping is like, you just want to go in because everyone else is going in, and it's basically like a state of FOMO, of high FOMO. Did Richard say stack in a few days? Did he?
Oh, he said that like a week ago.
Yeah, what do you mean? Don't play me like that, Dylan. Come on.
Did he? Bro. Maybe. I haven't been in the PulseChain chat, so maybe. Sometimes I just go into the Telegram chat on my desktop, do Control F, type in Richard Hart, and just look at like the last things he's typed. It's just kind of pierce through the noise.
Yeah, I've got an alert set on him on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it's only a couple people I actually care about what they say. Dylan said, when did he say go big day one? Did he? Did Richard say that? I don't think he said that. I don't think he recommended that. But I mean, he can't make recommendations. Like,
of course not.
I think he designed it for people to be able to go big on day one and not get screwed over, right? So
right.
Yeah, I don't think he's out here like recommending stuff to people, but personally, I'm gonna go on day one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense.
What is that your plan, or what are you doing?
I mean, most likely, because the only scenario in which a separate plan would make sense is like what we said: if price of whatever you're wanting to sacrifice runs up during the time that sacrifice phase is taking place, more than the actual bonding curve. So like 2x, I think, more than 2. So you'd have to have, let's assume it's HEX you're sacrificing. You'd have to have your HEX run up another 2x and then some to offset the bonding curve. But if you're sacrificing like a stable coin, then 100% day one makes the most sense. But then why wouldn't you use your stable coin to buy your favorite coin that you might already have a bag of? And so then we go back to the other thing, Ethereum mechanics. So it's like, I mean, day one just makes sense if you're trying to play it safe, I guess. If you're not trying to speculate on price, really.
Well, let's say you do have a stable coin like USDC. Can you think of any reason at all? Let's say you hate HEX, right? You don't care about it at all. Aren't you still game theoretically optimized to put your USDC into HEX, assuming everyone else is going to do that? Like, is there any reason that you could see for someone just going USDC directly?
No, I don't. Unless they're just like
Maybe
super risk
taxes.
averse. Really? I hadn't even thought about that. If they're scared of like a flash crash right after they buy whatever coin they're gonna sacrifice, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to buy USDC if you own other, or to sacrifice USDC if you own other crypto.
Yeah, I guess here's one. I guess it would make sense if you are sacrificing like $200 or less, because the swap fee would eat you up. But
yeah, that's a good point.
But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's such a bullish thing, man. It's incredible.
Speaking of bullish, have you seen the HEX chart?
Dude, you want to pull it up? Actually, I was going to pull up some of your stuff. Look into hex.com.
Sure, pull it up, because I know my screen is like,
I got it.
Half funny looking.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Hex chart first. Are you reading the tea leaves here?
Nice.
Let me see. There we go. So yeah, what I've circled is pretty much just the resistance that we broke out of. So that's kind of irrelevant now. What are your thoughts on this bad boy?
I mean, yeah, that's the yellow circles. Definitely that area of strong horizontal support. What was that, like the 1.5 penny region?
Yeah.
So when we found support on that, I was so bullish. If you saw my videos during that time, I was like, we have exponential support, horizontal support. It's a bull flag. Like, what else could you ask for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were hidden bullish divergences in RSI. Like, yeah, no, that's a great chart.
I could pull up RSI. Or what would you be looking for normally to be bullish in like a regular chart?
I mean, the bull flag itself already looks great. The fact that it broke out of that short-term falling parallel channel,
yeah,
looks so good. And the technical target is like 10 cents, but in the past we've broken technical targets by about 2x, roughly speaking. So that's why I think 10 to 20 cents easily in the cards for a next leg up.
Well, so we broke out of the flag, right?
Oh yeah,
that's what you'd call a breakout.
Oh, 100%.
I'm trying to do this without but yeah, let's pull up even from V1. What Richard came up with on that guy's stream the other day, which I didn't realize, is how long not only of a support band that we've had, but of a resistance band too on the above. Like, let's go. I was like, holy shit, it's like the perfect storm of everything. And it's like a trader's wet dream. And I'm trying really hard not to overdo it, because I'll always have people being like, why did you tell me to get in? And then the price went down. But it's like, I don't think you ever see, yeah. Oh, trust me, it'll happen to you too. But yeah, like this, right? Something like this.
Right.
It just kind of broke out of an ascending wedge that retested the top of the wedge. Like, where do you go from here? Like,
I mean, you could even consider this like a whole new like cycle, I guess. Like, this could be the start of like a whole new, almost like copy paste the entire chart as a fractal kind of moment.
Yeah, like it's a new paradigm.
Right.
Just copy and pasted it on top. Let's see what would happen.
Yeah, like a bars pattern.
How do I where's the bars pattern?
Oh man, it's a brushed tool, I believe. No.
Oh yeah. No.
Where you do your date and price ranges.
Oh, gotcha. Bars pattern.
Yeah.
All right, let's just slap this bad boy on top on top of here and see what happens. I mean, if we do that on a log scale, and if we wait another year and a half, that would put Hex at $17 in a year and a half. In another, at what date? The chart doesn't even go that far into the future, but we could just call it like 2023, 24.
Right, like actually 1.5 years, right, is the length of the chart. So end of next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if we already kind of, hold on, let's say that run up already happened.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean?
Yeah, I think the first time I saw that chart with the resistance on the tops and finding support on it now that looks clean. Was I think Brennan posted it, or it was either him or Wales only. I can't remember. But then Richard pointed it out too on Mitch's stream. But no, I like that you just drew right there.
This would be $5 hex in another year and a half. I mean, either way, it's like, well, what are you doing not being in hex right now? I don't know. Not financial advice.
True. I mean, historically speaking, it's outperformed the rest of crypto for the last, like 1.5 years?
Yeah.
It's even outperformed Doge. Can you believe it?
Yeah. I can't believe Doge did so well in the first place. But
right.
I can't tell what billionaires are going to wake up and tweet about.
Exactly.
We got a possibly hater in here. You guys will cry when Richard Hart starts dumping, LOL. you want to cover that one?
Yeah. I don't think he'd. First of all, we don't know who owns the OA. We don't. And even if it were him, he has the most incentive to not do that. Like, if people act in their own self-interest, then there's no reason the OA would, or any daughter addresses would dump, and they haven't. So if you just look at the data, they haven't. You can assume that trend will continue until it doesn't. So until I see definitive proof of those coins selling, like chain analysis, then I just disagree with that statement.
Yeah. Like, what if Satoshi dumps all his coins tomorrow? Like, what if Elon Musk sells all of his stock tomorrow? Right. Yeah, the price would go really, really, really low. Sure.
Really low.
Sure. And then it would not die because you can't kill it because there's no admin keys. But the way incentives work are the whales are the most incentivized not to sell, especially from a guy that's been retired for 10 years and doesn't need money. He's doing this literally for glory and ego, not for money. So I don't know how you guys can't see that, but a lot of people, I guess, probably haven't really talked to Richard for a long time or like listened to him. Mm-hmm. So I guess it could be easy to say, oh, look at that guy, he must be a scammer or whatever. But I mean, if you know all the work he's put in into actually trying to help people in real life, it just seems very unlikely to me. And hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's the risk that we're all taking in Hex, right? That is essentially we're not dealing with a psychopathic scammer that's going to dump all his shit. And seems kind of like a no-brainer to me. Matt says $2 in 12 months. Maybe, Matt. Maybe. Brendan says literally every streamer in Hex will be gone when Hex is $17.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. Because at that point, it's like, well, your work is kind of done.
Yeah, and then if Hex becomes a stable product, like if it stabilizes at $10, that'd still be a great investment, right? Because you're like, oh, where else can you get 15% APY for a 1-year stake? You know?
Right.
When it does reach the top of the S curve, it's still going to be a good product. It's just going to be a more boring, mature, stable store of value, not a crazy crypto, mad gains thing.
Exactly. The narrative will change, right? But the price chart will continue to do its thing.
Yeah. Anything can happen. It looks good, but they need to calm down. Okay, Ross. Sure, bro. Jonathan says this guy is rich. What on earth does he need more money for? Yeah, that's right. VB and Charlie dumped. Facts. They did dump. And how's Litecoin doing? Litecoin's doing fine. How's Ethereum doing? Ethereum's doing very well, you might say. And that was with Vitalik dumping, I think a couple billion, no, not billion, a million back in 2017. Let's see, Sandman, 2 things will happen. Hex will run up like hell or Richard will dump like hell. I vote for number 1. Yeah. I mean, everyone should be aware of these risks, right? It's like there's existential risk to everything. What if the internet goes down and then crypto doesn't matter anymore? And
I'm sure he has plenty of BTC to dump. If he hasn't already, because I mean, he was kind of calling the top. So wouldn't you, if you really believed in your own calls, wouldn't you act upon them? Put your money where your mouth is. So a bunch of Bitcoin you can sell, a bunch of ETH you can sell. Soon to be a bunch of ERC20s So like there's a lot to tap into before even needing to tap into hex bags, right? Like
Exactly. And that's a great point. Not a lot of people know that he mined Bitcoin full blocks at 50 BTC. He's probably one of the Bitcoin
such a
whales.
boss.
Like,
Such
I
a
know.
boss, dude.
It's like, damn.
So
And like what, like once you're sitting on, even like $10 million, it's like, what do you really need more money for at that point? Like, you're good. You're good.
mhm.
There's a
I
decent chance
mean,
that everyone in here right now will be retired doing whatever they feel like doing in a couple of years. Maybe, Benny. Maybe.
yeah. I mean, this is what I feel like doing. So I'd probably be making content on other stuff. Just like change my identity. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Like
I would
how
definitely.
much Bitcoin does a retired millionaire buy when it's at $30? Like his companies were already making 60 million plus a year. Like how
Yeah.
big of a stack do you allocate?
Right. Imagine you even put like 100K in at $30. You'd be a billionaire now, probably.
What is
I
it
just
like
pulled that number out of my ass, but
3,000 Bitcoin approximately?
yeah, 3,000 times
It's probably
50K.
more. Probably through more than 100K. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I'm not trying to count other people's money. Just like such
Yeah.
a boss move.
Yeah. It's a weird
That's not even
subject.
counting the 50 Bitcoin blocks. Like,
Yep. Yep. Oh, Richard talked about Grayscale in his last stream. What do you think that could do for Hex and Pulse? Number go up, sir.
ooh.
I think you remember him talking about that?
Yeah, that's in my notes. I want to make a whole video on that. But for now, like, oh man, I think it would front run a lot of the pump. It would bring it closer to now because to sell encapsulated 15-year stakes, you have to buy the Hex on market first. So, in my opinion, the moment it went kind of live, so this kind of grayscale like vehicle that you'd see whatever entity that is just start purchasing a bunch of Hex, staking it for getting the stakes ready.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah. And then they would
insane.
really never have to sell either because they could just make
Yeah.
a third, whatever, tertiary asset. And it could be like G Hex or whatever they want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just trade the notes on the open market. And those notes could even accrue like dividends or something because of the interest payments. But yeah, I hope
Yeah,
that comes soon.
Same. I mean, as long as it's all real backed, like actually backed by buying Hex on market and not just derivative stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what Grayscale does too. I think they're backed 1-to-1, but who knows these days? Could be all fractional reserve and they're just not telling us. I was really impressed to hear about the fact that he had a guy working on it though, or a couple of guys working on it, or he knew of some people working on it. So, I mean, I know that lawyers and legal stuff takes a long time. So I'm not going to get my hopes up for that in the next year, but like maybe 2 years from now, 3 years, Hex is a little more mature, a little more mainstream. That would be great to see a more professional institution selling it.
I'd love to see that, definitely. Yeah, I think it would front load a lot of the pump and then backload a ton of the selling later into assuming they're 15-year stakes that you wouldn't see that sell pressure until 15 years out.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this site here. If anybody doesn't know yet, Gerawrdog's got a site called Look Into Hex. It is where all the beautiful charts are found or can be found. Let's see. You do a lot of regression stuff, a lot of comparison to Hex and ETH, heat maps. Can we talk about the heat map? Because this is probably the one that I know the least about.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what is it?
Yeah, it's so if you read the description up top, it kind of tries to explain it. It's pretty much so the heat map measures the weekly change of a certain moving average. So for the first one, it's the 100-day moving average heat map. So it's just taking a look at the 100-day moving average and its curvature, its slope. So when it's flat or going down, it'll be those, I believe it was those darker colors. And then when it's like getting really steep because the price is kind of pulling it up, then that's when you map the highest slope values to these other colors like pink and blue.
So when it gets the farthest away, for the delta in percentages from the MA.
Right. So once the MA starts doing something like that and starts going almost vertical, then it starts getting pink. Whereas when the MA starts flattening out, it turns more reddish.
Okay, so it's a map of the slope of the
basically
increase?
Yeah. It's almost
Sweet.
that's spot on. It's almost like a derivative in calculus. It is a map of the slope.
Wow.
That's a really good way of putting it. That's exactly what it is. Yep.
So when it's pink, it's like, okay, it's probably going to come back down to red. When it's red, it's probably going to oscillate between. So you could play those red zones and those pink zones a little bit, right?
A little bit.
So we're in green right now, which is right in the middle on the 100-day moving average weekly heat map.
It's been about a week since I've updated that, so it might be a little cooled down by now.
Okay. But if it did heat up to, let's say, like a pink or blue level, that's theoretically when you'd want to be, when you'd be expecting a drawdown.
More or less, yeah. And and we don't have like a ton of data. Like I'd love to plot this with the exact same, what is it? The moving averages that Bitcoin uses on their heat map, because they use like a 200 week, but we don't even have 200 weeks of data until after the first 4 years of existence. So once we have that, I think it'll be cool to look at even more. This is just like based on the 100-day, 200, and 300-day.
Yeah.
And so you don't get data until 100, 200, or 300 days.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's still so early. Like these are like trends that you draw on mature financial vehicles, and we're trying to plot it all on this 18-month-old chart. And you can do a lot of cool stuff, but there's still a lot that we need to just wait and see how this thing plays out. So
definitely.
What do you think about this guy? Regression rainbow?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh, everyone loves a good rainbow. It kind of hit the yellow perfectly, but what I want to know is like, how did you draw? Is it arbitrary, the yellow?
Every line in between is more or less kind of arbitrary. The only ones with mathematical significance are the boundaries. So red and pink. And then
maybe like the halfway point, right?
You could argue that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like green.
Definitely. Yeah.
So did you just go, did you just go like 7 colors, so 7 lines?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Then again, that's arbitrary, right? Like you could have divvied it up into like only 3 zones or 50 zones. Like that part is definitely arbitrary. Yeah.
But it seemed to be bouncing right off like the orange and the
right.
What if you made them Fibonacci? Would that matter? Or would that not even be like, would that not even be applicable here? I don't know. I could be wrong, right?
I actually love that idea. No, let me think about that. Like
green is still 50, but then you get like, instead of just even cuts, you do like Fibonacci cuts.
No, that's a great idea. I might do that.
Yeah, new video idea, I guess.
Definitely.
But yeah, guys, look into hex.com, man. Go check it out.
Thank you. Definitely.
What else we got over here? What up, chat? How we doing? All other founders dumping on folks all day, and the OA hasn't sold 1 damn coin since day 1. And something tells me even if they did, it might go to a good cause like the Sons Foundation. If they did. Brennan, like the Fib log channel. Cool. Sandy says Nishi with his outdated troll game. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I haven't heard that troll in a while, that particular argument of Richard's going to dump on your head. I haven't heard that one in a while, but it's an old one and a good one. Crypto Frontier, thoughts on buying Hex Pulse on day 1? We touched on that already. I mean, do you have any more thoughts on Pulse day 1?
Man, Pulse day 1, do it. That's all I can say. Not financial advice, but like, just go for it. Would be my opinion. Like, don't overthink it too much. It's laid out pretty simple. I think day 1 guys will outperform.
Specifically, day 1 Hex guys too, because I mean, if you buy the Hex, I don't know. It feels too much like we're giving financial advice here, but like if you get into Hex early enough, even if you don't want Hex, which I don't know why you wouldn't, I love it, but even if you don't want it, the chance of that going up versus the chance of something else going up in this time, in this, 1 week to 3 week window, I put it at a little bit higher personally.
That's a great point. Like you mentioned that earlier, saying like, what would be your incentive not to buy Hex? Like there's a lot of strong incentive to buy it right now.
Yeah. You have a new coin where there's a primary community backing it. I mean, granted, I just want to say this, PulseChain is coin agnostic, right? So any community can come over. Everyone's welcome on Pulse. No matter what coin you hold, you're going to get a 1-for-1 copy of it on Pulse. So if you're, let's say, a Chainlink guy and you're feeling the burn from ETH gas fees and they're chewing you up and you still want to use Chainlink over on PulseChain, then don't sacrifice it and you'll just get a 1-for-1 copy. And then you could do whatever you want over there. And maybe the more of your community that comes over to PulseChain, the more value the Pulse version is going to have because people are going to actually want to buy it. How long that's going to take and how many communities are going to come over, that's all speculation.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure what to think about these PRT20s, like what's going to happen with those. The only input I got that I actually kind of think might play out is looking at crypto saying he thinks they're just all going to dump all those PRC20s close to zero. And I don't know. I don't see any personal incentive to like buy them other than that would just be pure, like kind of pure speculation, like just a roulette wheel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about that one. It seems way more risky, volatile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a game I necessarily would recommend to anybody unless you have some kind of insider info where this CEO or this company is going to come over to Pulse ahead of time, which would be illegal. So, but hey, maybe that's not illegal in crypto. Who knows? Yeah, I think there's a good chance that everyone's like, oh, what? I got free coins in my MetaMask wallet. Oh, cool. Where can I dump them? And so I think they do get dumped for a long time. Which ones pick back up is TBD. But I wouldn't even if nothing gets picked back up, Hex is going to have its own little ecosystem and it's going to be vertically integrated, so it's going to have its own chain, its own lower fees. And I think if it is a good enough product, if PulseChain's a good enough product, we might see a couple products switch over. And if not switch over, I think we're going to have some new products built on top. One of my thoughts is that we might see a whole bunch of scams come in and build on top of PulseChain. So just get ready for that because there's always going to be the early, low-hanging fruit scammer kind of people. I'd be very careful about new projects being built on PulseChain. Really just try to vet them and use critical thinking. Don't just buy them because they're available. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of shit coins, as they say.
Right. Like obviously the recent Ponzi that popped up recently that like everyone's talking about are just meme coins with like just be careful, definitely. Just the same way you'd be careful on the ETH network, on the Ethereum network, just even more so because a lot of the stuff will be spun, but it'll really be the same thing. So just be careful, definitely.
How about this one? Richard has commented many times how bad it is when crypto when dApps do a rug pull. I think Pulse will have an anti-rug pull policy, or is that just something that happens?
I think that's just something that happens in DeFi. If it's real DeFi and like people can build whatever they want, people will build shitty things. And I mean, that's kind of the price you pay for having infrastructure.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I wish there was a way around it, but hey, rugger's gonna rug. Stylus, any speculation on what PHEX is priced at on day one of live PulseChain?
No idea. You have no idea?
Nah, dude, do you?
Interesting. I mean, no, I don't. Any speculation? Day one live PHEX?
I keep hearing the 10,000 to 1 ratio getting thrown around. So like maybe you could just take the ETH price, divide it by 10,000 and somewhere in the ballpark of that, but it's probably not going to be that simple.
Well, that would be for like the supply of Pulse is being diluted 10,000 to 1. Like if you hold ETH, you only get what?
Oh yeah, sorry, I misread that. PHEX.
Yeah, no worries. PHEX, not Pulse.
Fucking maybe. I don't know. I keep saying that I think it's going to be a greater than 1 X, right? I think it might be like a 1.2 to 1.3X, but I could be wrong. People might dump, and temporarily we might get like a 0.9X valuation or a 0.8X valuation. When I say that, I'm talking about the sum of the parts, right? The sum of P hex plus E hex. I think there will be this idea that E hex is less valuable once they have P hex, especially because I think that everyone's going to be promoting P hex a lot. I know I will. Like, I'm going to be onboarding people onto the PulseChain of hex because, it's better. So, I don't know what the price is going to be.
If I were just to like throw a random number out there, 1 penny. I have no idea. Like day one. Yeah, sure. No clue. Just throwing it out there.
Well, I guess that makes sense because a lot of the E hex is going to be locked or sacrificed at that point. So not a lot of people are going to have liquid E hex to really be dumping. So maybe E hex retains value for a while, and then P hex slowly builds up value from. There will be a mad rush to get it though at first because the 10,000 to 1 sacrifice guys are going to have an outsized bag of pulse. I think a lot of people are going to try to scoop up the cheap P hex as fast as they can.
With their pulse. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
Just interesting. Like with the same thesis of if you own Ethereum, probably want to flip that over to Hex because it'll probably outperform it. So you're thinking like P hex might outperform Pulse.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so many new pairs to keep in mind, right? Like the PX Pulse pair, the PX Hex pair, the Hex Pulse pair. Like it's gonna be madness.
It's gonna create speculative stickiness. That was an old Richard Hart term. Like they're more complex. Like us crypto people, we love complex shit, and like people are gonna be trading the EHEX PHEX pair on a bridged version of it. It's gonna be wild.
So is E Pulse the same as like kind of a wrapped version of it, except actually trustless?
Yeah, it would be ePulse would be wrapped but on ETH, and then PETH would be wrapped but on Pulse.
Got it.
Which is it's hard to imagine, right? But there literally is going to be a bridge that just will save. It'll be like a bridge where you can only use the coins on one network at a time, but you can send them through a contract to get them back if you ever want them back. Sandy's got a good point. Never heard of a scammer begging to be interviewed. That's pretty funny.
Great point.
Nishi Beats. Okay, serious question. Do Hex holders get Pulse, or we have to buy it? No. It's got to be sacrificed. So essentially bought. I mean, we're using the term sacrifice to imply that there's no promises of work from others. But yeah, you can, in order to get Pulse, you can either hold Ethereum at the time of the snapshot and get just barely enough Pulse to transact, or you can sacrifice a coin like Hex and essentially buy your Pulse with Hex. And how much you get is going to be based on how much everyone else puts into the system. The sacrifice phase, I mean.
It's not really a purchase though, right? It's not a purchase. It's not a swap. It's not a trade. It's like, you're getting something for using something. So you got Uni for using Uniswap. You got Torn for using Tornado Cash. You will get Pulse by using the sacrifice chamber. It's that, right? It's like not.
Yeah, let's go with your narrative. That's definitely better.
I mean, it helps with the,
E-Hex is the Richens hex?
Richens? What?
Randy, what are you talking about? The Richards hex, you mean? I don't know. Sorry,
I mean, I don't know.
Rich man's hex.
Yeah. He has a kind of a point. Like, do you think Ethereum will maintain the high value users more and who actually just don't mind paying the gas fees just because they're rich as fuck? Like,
yeah, that's a good point because they could, but then Ethereum gas fees could come down, and then that was always the case in my head, right? It's like, what if Ethereum actually does get their shit together? Proof of stake goes off without a hitch, ETH 2.0 comes along, and then now you just have these two ecosystems. All I can say is I think people are going to go where there's a better experience, and whether or not that shifts to Pulse temporarily and comes back to ETH, or if it shifts to Pulse permanently, or if it maybe it just never really leaves ETH. I don't know.
I mean, what's the trade-off, right, of using Pulse versus Ethereum? Using PulseChain versus Ethereum. It's less decentralized, I guess, because you'll have like 30 to 100 nodes versus a few thousand.
People don't care though.
Right. I'm just like trying to be
But yeah.
objective here and saying like, what are the actual trade-offs? Like, I can only think of that.
Yeah. So there's
Give
that,
it a
and then
try,
there's going to
Lemma.
be extra work to make sure your front ends are all working, like extra development time to make sure that like whatever dApp you use can be accessed on PulseChain, which is not
Yeah.
really a huge trade-off. It's more just like
Mhm.
developers are going to have to build some extra shit.
So you think the better experience will win? I mean, it's a valid
Yeah.
thesis. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to oversimplify it, but like if I'm onboarding somebody and they got to pay $20 to trade and then $30 to swap, and it's more than that now, like they're not going to even be interested. They're going to lose interest. You know, they actually lose interest the second that they have to pay for a smart wallet on Staker. So,
Yeah.
you know, imagine that's no longer a blocker, right? Imagine that Steph has enough money to pay 1 penny per wallet, and then he can just fund everyone, you know, from his own. But yeah, Ethereum is really, I mean, it's not outdated, but I think it has a good chance of losing to a different chain.
It's a good point. I mean, Richard has called certain things in the past. Like we said, he has great calls, and he believes in a future where the world is multi-chain. And he's mentioned too, like Etherscan plays multi-chain, MetaMask does. Apparently, Uniswap is going to be like locked by the time. Like, do I understand that correctly? Like, Uniswap is coming over. Just like, are they already doing multi-chain?
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing multi-chain. I know it's going to come over because it's getting forked over, you know, so the smart contract gets forked, and yeah, everything on Ethereum gets forked over. So that includes Uniswap, right?
Is it going to maintain the branding though? Like, is it going to be called PulseSwap or?
I've heard it might be called just the Pulse Uniswap. Like,
Interesting.
I think they're respecting the brand name
Uniswap?
enough to call it Uniswap. Yeah, Pulse Swap. I don't know, but
That's
and also, are they going to have V2? Are they going to have V3? Because there's a new contract for V3. A lot
They
of
definitely
unknowns
won't
here.
have V3. Definitely not, because it's not able to be forked yet.
Yeah, in 2 years it will be, but yeah,
It will be in the future. And I think based on their governance, like it might be pushed closer than 2 years out. It can't be pushed out farther, but it can be pushed closer, I believe, via their governance. So 2 years maybe less, but yeah, well, we'll see. That's interesting though. So it's being forked over. And oh yeah, I was gonna bring this up that I remember one argument Richard made in the past to not fork Ethereum because he presented this idea like, do you think the hex price would have ran up as much as it did without Ethereum like Genesis whales? Probably not, because if you look at the chain analysis, people who have bought it up the most have been Ethereum whales. And so that was like the whole argument for not forking. But then if you think about it a little bit, you're incentivizing Ethereum guys to move over with the free coins and whatnot. But is it enough incentive? I guess that's the real question. Because like, how many of the Bitcoin free claimers use Bitcoin to actually buy hex? It's kind of the same thing. Like, how much of the Ethereum guys are actually gonna, I guess, sacrifice to buy?
Well, I mean, Ethereum guys are a little bit more. Oh, we lost your voice. Did you press mute by accident? In the meantime, Loney Norris says, Crypto Coffee, does your course explain how to onboard new clients? No, it's really a beginner course. So it explains how to set up a staking ladder, how to get Coinbase, MetaMask, how to be safe while doing it, how to get in the right mindset for, you know, buying dips, long-term holding, not trading, and, you know, volatility and how to handle it. It's all about staking and what is hex and how to make a staking ladder. How a lot of the hexagons are making a lot of money right now. It's not really about how to onboard new clients, but it does have a referral program. So if you want to onboard new people, you can send them the course, and then you can get, you know, a little bit of money for sending them that. It's $100, lower the price. Max says, how can I pay for it? Pay for what? The course? It's just US dollars. Gerawrdog, say something. Do we have you back?
Yeah. Do you have me back? I hope so.
Oh no, we lost your voice.
No? Oh no.
Okay, Randy says he can still hear him. Let me refresh my screen. I'll be right back.
All right. Super weird. Have I taken over Crypto Coffee's live stream?
Hey man, I could hear you again.
Oh, awesome.
You know, StreamYard just does that sometimes. But I lost all the comments.
Yeah.
So if you see anything good in the comments, let me know.
Oh no. Here, should I? I'm gonna go over to your live stream, see if I can read your chat.
Show.
Oh, we have 150 people watching. Dang.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
People come out when the price goes up.
All right, cool.
Max said, what is a smart wallet and how can I pay for it? Oh, a smart wallet. That's just GoStaker.com. You can scan the QR code in the corner of this stream. You can get GoStaker.com. It's a great app, beautiful front end for staking hex. You can do it all from your phone. It's all non-custodial, so you can hold your own private keys while doing it. A smart wallet just means it's got some extra features in it, like you can swap and do some other cool hex stuff. It can interact with the hex smart contract, basically. Right now, there's a small fee to activate it. It costs like 0.003 Ethereum, I believe, which, what is that, like $10 or something? I don't know.
Like 15, well, like $8 right now, $6.
Yeah, so not outrageous, but when PulseChain comes around, I'm pretty sure that price is going to go down. You know?
Oh yeah, it'll be pennies or less.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's wrap it up with some price predictions. Thadley Reaver says, "What do you want to predict the month at? Close the month at?"
Monthly close. Oh, that's a great question. Let's see. Oh, buddy, putting me on the spot. 5 days left. We're breaking the flag. Technical target is 10 cents. It took what, like 2 weeks for the last run. So 2 weeks for this run. 10 cents by June 6th. Halfway through would be like 7.5 cents. Just some rough math. Let's say 8 cents end of month.
No, that's literally my thought process as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I think 7 to 8 cents would be great. Prove me wrong. Let's go way higher.
Honestly, I'd be happy to be wrong about that.
Right. Oh, we got an even better one. Coach Dub says, curious on your 10-year price prediction for Hex. I just get in.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, well, first of all, congratulations and welcome aboard. The 10-year price prediction could get really weird. It could at least be double-digit dollars and maybe even like $50, something like that. Maybe Gerawrdog has a more mathematical answer.
Let's see. We're at 100x from launch. Closer to 1,000,000x would make sense. 10,000x from here.
This is total moon math, guys. By the way,
$500.
Jesus Christ. It sounds crazy. It sounds like we bought Bitcoin at $1 and we're like, do you think Bitcoin could be $1,000 someday?
Exactly.
It's like now it's 50K, right? So it's like it always seems insane when you're at the bottom of the curve.
Maybe if you bring it back to reality, $100 just for a nice even number.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I hope, man. That's why we're doing this, spreading the word and promoting it, right? It's only going to go up if more people know about it. So
True. And the next guy's going to want his 100x, and then the guy who gets in at $1 is going to want his 100x, and everyone's going to want their 100x. So as the story goes.
Crypto CPT closing in on 2 years of Hex, not one problem. Many future millionaires, strong credibility. I think PulseChain will appreciate much faster than people think, and the haters will get in too. Good point, man. All good points. Clutch Dubs again with the moon math. On the 10 years, he still looks absolutely nuts, but I like the thoughts. It's crazy to think it could be $100. It is. We won't know if we get there. I want it to be $100. I really want it to be $1,000. Hey, the higher the better. The more people can get to financial freedom, the better. I guess I'll leave it at that. That's why we do what we do. We just try to teach people about it and onboard people. It's never a bad time to get in. Like we said, even when it's stable and a store value, you're still making 40%, 60% APY, or maybe lower by then. But, something I feel good about promoting because I really do think it can make a lot of people very rich.
Agreed. Agreed. And even recently, I had my highest entry point on Hex that I've ever had, just because I really believe that much in it, right? Like,
Yeah, I bought it 3.3 pennies or so the last
there
day.
you go. There you go.
Just a little bit, but all right, man. Any last words? You want to show your stuff?
Sure, yeah. Look into hex.com. That's probably my main show point right now. I'm really, really proud of the site. I recently kind of gave it a fresh look, inspired by the new look on PulseChain.com. Gave me, some ideas on how to set it up a little nicer so it looks way cleaner. Yeah, my YouTube is youtube.com/Gerawrdog, so Gerawardog. And on Twitter, I'll just leave the link to you can see the link to that in the description of my YouTube channels or YouTube videos. So yeah, go find me if you can. If not, it's okay. You'll find me eventually when you need to.
When the time is right.
When the time is right. Make it a
All
little.
right, guys.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Like, really do love the work you do and really high quality content. So keep it up,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Congrats on almost 4K, I think you have. So that's
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome. Keep it up, man.
Thanks. All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace.